Hey folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? Not just jingle it around, but actually took a second to see what's in there. Because believe it or not, that little brown penny you just tossed into your car's cup holder could be worth more than your car. Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about a 1997 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that's turning heads in the collecting world, and not because it's shiny or smells like copper. Nope, this little fella is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. I'll wait a second while you pick your jaw up off the floor now. You might be thinking, come on, a penny? Seriously? Yes. Seriously. And by the end of this video, not only are you going to be flipping over every penny you find, but you're going to know why this one is worth so much, what to look for, and how you can spot a treasure in your own coin jar. And don't worry, we'll sprinkle in some laughs along the way. And just to spice things up, I'm going to share a personal story that involves a broken vending machine, a suspiciously shiny penny, and a very confused gas station attendant. Stick around for that. Alright, let's jump in. The 1997 D penny, we're talking about the one minted in Denver, with that tiny D under the year. Over 4.6 billion of these were made. That's billion with a B. So what makes this one so special? The answer, minting error. That's right, it's all about the imperfections. Some 1997 D Lincoln cents were struck on the wrong metal planchet, and not just any wrong planchet. A few were mistakenly struck on a bronze blank left over from decades earlier. By 1997, pennies were supposed to be made of copper-plated zinc, but a few bronze blanks somehow slipped through the cracks and made it to the press. This type of mistake makes the coin stand out like a sore thumb, or in our case, a golden nugget hiding in plain sight. Bronze has a richer tone, it's slightly heavier, and the sound it makes when you drop it? Like music to a coin collector's ears, collectors go nuts for error coins, especially ones that were never supposed to exist. And the rarity? Off the charts. We're talking single digits, maybe even fewer. That kind of scarcity gets serious attention from auction houses and wealthy collectors with too much money and not enough hobbies. So when one of these rare 1997 D bronze pennies showed up at a high-profile auction, everyone went bananas. After a flurry of bidding and probably some heart palpitations, the final hammer came down at $1.6 million. Let me just say that again. One penny. Sold for $1.6 million. That's enough to buy a luxury car, a house, or approximately 160 million McChickens. Okay, so now your eyes are glued to every penny you see. Good. Here's what to look for if you want to be the next lucky soul cashing in a tiny coin for a life-changing payday. Bronze is heavier than zinc. A real 1997 D error penny should weigh about 3.11 grams, not the usual 2.5. Bronze has a deeper, golden brown tone versus the lighter red of copper-plated zinc. Give it a little tap on a table. Bronze gives off a slightly higher pitched ring. If you've got a food scale and a magnifying glass, you're already in the treasure hunting business. Congratulations, you're officially Indiana Jones for coins. A few years ago, I'm at this rinky-dink gas station in the middle of nowhere. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and all I want is a cold soda. I stick $1 in the vending machine, hit the button, and boom, the thing spits out my dollar, no soda, and then gives me 4 pennies. I'm standing there like, I didn't even want change, I wanted caffeine. But one of the pennies catches my eye. It's darker. Heavier. Almost golden. I do a quick check, and sure enough, it says 1997. With a D mint mark. I swear my heart skipped a beat. I even ran to the car and grabbed my kid's plastic school scale to weigh it. Don't judge me. It was 3.1 grams, and now I'm thinking I've just become a millionaire. I'm ready to call the bank and cash in my retirement plans. I take it home, show my wife, and she just says, "You found a penny and you're acting like we won the lottery?" I send it in to a coin grading service, and yeah, turns out it was just a discolored regular penny that probably went through a laundry machine and lost its will to live. But hey, for those 3 glorious days, I walked around like a man who discovered gold. And that right there is the thrill of the hunt. So what happens if you do find the real deal? You don't just toss it in a jar. You send that bad boy to a coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it, give it a grade, and then you're looking at the big leagues, heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or even private collectors who've got more cash than sense. Prices for rare coins like this can vary depending on condition, toning, and provenance, but the record-breaking one? $1.6 million. And the value continues to rise as more collectors enter the game and fewer genuine coins remain in the wild. So there you have it, folks. The 1997 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that's probably sitting in someone's couch cushion right now, completely unaware that it's worth more than most folks' homes. All it takes is one lucky find to change your financial future. Remember, this isn't just about getting rich. It's about the fun of the hunt, the thrill of discovery, and the wild stories that come with it. Whether you're an experienced collector or just a guy who checks the change tray at Taco Bell, you're part of something exciting. So before you go tossing those pennies aside or giving them to the nearest wishing fountain, take a second to look. That 1 cent might just be your $1 million ticket. And hey, if you like this video and want more tips, tricks, and downright wild stories about coins that are secretly worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos every week so you don't miss the next big find hiding in your pocket. Don't forget to like, comment below if you've ever found something strange in your change, and share this video with your penny hoarding uncle. We all have one. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever checked your pockets and found a crusty old penny, thought at just 1 cent, and tossed it in the change jar? Well, what if I told you that one of those dirty little copper coins could actually be worth $1.7 million? Yep. You heard me right. 1.7 million. For a penny. A 1984 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin with no mint mark. That's not just enough to buy a house. That's enough to buy the house, the block, and maybe even the pizza shop down the street. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's a penny. How special can it be? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into this mysterious, mega valuable coin. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know: what it is, why it's worth a fortune, how to spot it, and how my weird obsession with coins almost got me kicked out of a family reunion. Yeah, that's a real story, and I'm going to share it. So hit that like button, grab your coin jar, and let's roll. This penny could be your retirement plan. This coin is part of the regular Lincoln Memorial Cent series that ran from 1959 to 2008. The obverse shows good old Abraham Lincoln, staring off into the future like he knows something we don't. The reverse has the Lincoln Memorial, you know, that place in DC where every kid takes a field trip and eats bad vending machine snacks. Now, most coins have a little letter on them called a mint mark. It tells you where the coin was made. For pennies in 1984, you'd usually see a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some were struck in Philadelphia, which at that time didn't always put a mint mark on pennies. So if your 1984 penny doesn't have any letter under the date, that's our guy. But here's the kicker: not all 1984 no mint mark pennies are valuable. In fact, billions of them were made. The difference? It comes down to one thing. This is where it gets juicy. Some of the 1984 no mint mark pennies have what's called a double die. It's exactly what it sounds like. When the die that stamps the coin was being made, it accidentally got an extra impression slightly off from the first one. So when it went to work punching out pennies, it left behind this wild, doubled image on certain parts of the coin. Not on this one. It shows up big time on Lincoln's ear. Yep. His ear looks like it has a shadow or a second ear right behind it. If you're seeing double, that's not last night's wine talking. It might be the double die. So if you've got a 1984 penny with no mint mark, flip it over, check out Abe's ear. If it looks like he's wearing a ghost earring, you might want to sit down before you check the value. Rarity, my friend. That double die error didn't show up on a lot of coins. And over time, many were lost, spent, or tossed in fountains with wishes that probably didn't come true. But collectors today? They'll throw serious cash at a clean, shiny one. Especially if it's uncirculated, meaning it was never really used, just sat pretty in someone's collection for decades. The finest examples of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. And as of right now, one of them hit a market value of $1.7 million. That's a penny with a price tag bigger than a Lamborghini. Of course, your coin might not be mint state quality. But even circulated ones with the right doubling have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands. So it's always worth checking. Literally. Here's a quick cheat sheet for checking your 1984 no mint mark penny. No mint mark under the date? Then, get a magnifying glass. Or if you're over 40 like me, reading glasses and a strong lamp. Zoom in on Lincoln's ear. You want to see a clear doubling behind the ear, like a second outline, check his eye and jawline too, some have minor doubling there as well. Lot if you see it, don't go spend that penny on a candy bar. We're past that point. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if it's the real deal and what condition it's in. The family reunion incident. Okay, time for a little personal tale. Last summer, we had a big family reunion at my cousin's lake house. You know the kind, barbecue, kids running wild, and at least one uncle who drinks too much and starts talking politics. Anyway, my cousin's kid dumped out a big jar of coins on the table he was saving for a video game. I heard that sweet ching-ching and turned around like a bloodhound on a scent. Next thing I know, I'm face first in a pile of pennies with a loop in one hand and a flashlight in the other, muttering about mint marks and doubled dice. My walked in and thought I'd completely lost it. My wife tried to drag me back to the potato salad table, but I was like, honey, this is a possible six-figure year. The whole family thought I'd cracked. But you know what? I found a 1983 penny with a slight error that ended up selling for $150. Paid for the gas to get home and a steak dinner. So who's laughing now, huh? Alright, folks. If you've made it this far, you are now officially a coin sleuth. You've got the knowledge. You've got the tools. And now, maybe you've even got the $1 million penny hiding in a sock drawer. Let's do a quick recap. You're looking for a 1984 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark and a very specific doubling on Abe's ear. If you've got it in good shape, you might just be sitting on a fortune. It's not just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. It's about being curious. And yes, sometimes it's about ignoring everyone at a party to stare at pennies for 3 hours. So here's what I want you to do. First, go check your change jar. Dig through your pockets. Raid your old coin collection. If your grandma has a stash of coins in a cookie tin, offer to help her clean it out. You might be doing both of you $1 million favor. Second, hit that subscribe button right now if you haven't already. This channel is packed with videos about rare coins, valuable bills, and weird little mistakes that turn loose change into gold mines. I'll show you how to spot them, where to sell them, and even how to start your own side hustle from something as simple as spare change. Leave me a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just now realizing you may have thrown away a fortune on candy in 1984. I want to hear your stories. The good, the bad, and the hilarious. Thanks for watching, Coin Crew. Until next time, may your pockets be heavy, and your pennies be priceless. Hey folks, grab your coffee, your coin jar, or your old sock full of change, because you're not gonna believe what I'm about to tell you. That boring little penny you probably stepped over in the parking lot last week, yeah, the one from 2001 with no mint mark? It could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, folks, $1.8 million for a single Lincoln Memorial penny. And here you thought pennies were just for wishing wells and car cup holders. Now before you start digging through your couch cushions or bribing your kids to check under the car seats, sit tight. I'm gonna break it all down for you, what makes this coin so rare, how to spot it, and what you need to look out for to make sure you don't accidentally spend it on a stick of gum. By the end of this video, you might just be a millionaire in copper clothing. I'll also share a personal story about how I almost threw away a coin worth thousands. Let's just say my wife still doesn't let me forget that one. Alright, let's dive into the mysterious, magical, money-making world of the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Alright, let's start with the basics. Most 2001 pennies were minted in two places, Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia coins usually have no mint mark, and Denver ones have a little D under the date. But here's where it gets interesting, not all no mint mark pennies are created equal. See, most no mint mark pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you're lucky and someone's feeling generous. But the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial cent that's worth $1.8 million? That's a rare bird. A unicorn. A copper-colored golden ticket. It all comes down to mint errors in condition. This particular penny that sold for nearly $2 million had a combination of errors that made collectors lose their minds. I'm talking about a crazy misstrike, a double die, an off-center design, and pristine condition all rolled into one. Basically, this penny was the LeBron James of coins, born to be valuable. And now don't worry, I'll explain those terms without putting you to sleep. Double die means the design on the coin, like Lincoln's face or the date, looks like it was stamped twice. Think of it like when your printer spits out a blurry copy and everything's got a shadow. That's the kind of doubling collectors pay big bucks for. Off-center strike is exactly what it sounds like. The image is not perfectly centered on the coin. In most cases, that's a mint error, and while not all errors are valuable, some are worth thousands. Condition is everything. A coin in uncirculated or mint state, meaning it hasn't been tossed in vending machines or clanked around with nickels in a sweaty gym bag, is gonna fetch top dollar. We're talking about coins that have that fresh from the mint sparkle, the kind that make you want to wear gloves just to look at it. Now, only a few of these 2001 no-mint mark pennies exist in that rare perfect storm of error and condition. That's what makes them so valuable. It's not just the date, it's the perfect combo of fluke and fortune. Let's switch gears for a second and talk about how I nearly missed out big time. Picture this, it's 2018. I'm cleaning out an old junk drawer, the one with expired coupons, random batteries, and about $3.62 in change. I'm just about to toss a handful of pennies into a donation jar when something catches my eye. A 1983 penny with what looked like a smudged 3. I almost shrugged it off, but my buddy Dave, shout out to Dave, the king of weird trivia, had once mentioned something about valuable pennies with doubled dates. So I Google it. Turns out, it was a minor doubled die penny worth a few $100. Not retirement money, but definitely better than a cup of coffee. Ever since then, I check every coin that crosses my path. Grocery store change, vending machine returns, even the Coinstar reject tray. My wife says I look like a raccoon digging through the trash, but hey, raccoons never leave empty-handed. This is step 1. If your 2001 penny has a D or an S, it's not the $1 million version. You want it clean under the date. Grab a magnifying glass or one of those jeweler's loupes that make you look like an old-timey watchmaker. You're checking for a doubled die effect on the lettering, the date, or Lincoln's profile. The more obvious the doubling, the better. Is Lincoln's head slightly too far left or right? Does the rim look weird or cut off? Bingo! That's an error. The $1 million coin wasn't found in the parking lot of a gas station. It was found in a roll of uncirculated pennies, untouched, crisp, and bright. If your coin looks like it's been to war, chances are it's not the jackpot, but it could still be worth a few bucks. Now, if you do think you've struck gold or copper, in this case, don't go running to the pawn shop just yet. You need to get that baby graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks are like the Michelin inspectors of the coin world. They'll look at your penny, give it a grade from 1 to 70, and certify it if it's truly rare. That's your golden ticket to selling it for big money at auction. That $1.8 million 2001 penny sold through a private collector's auction after being authenticated, graded, and verified as a unique specimen. It was a once-in-a-lifetime find, the kind of thing that turns a coin geek into a legend overnight. There might be more out there. Yep. In a world of billions of pennies, it's totally possible there's another one hiding in someone's piggy bank, a glove box, or a jar on grandma's windowsill. So check your change. Check your car. Check your socks, your drawers, your dog's secret hiding spot under the couch. You never know where treasure might be hiding. So there you have it, folks. The 2001 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny, the little copper coin that could be worth $1.8 million if you get lucky enough to find one with those wild minting errors in mint condition. But if you're like me, you're already itching to raid the coin jar and give every penny a good once-over. And who knows, maybe this video will be the moment you look back on after making your first million from a coin that cost the government less than 2 cents to make. Even if you don't find the $1 million coin today, just remember that collecting coins is about more than just money. It's about the history, the thrill of the hunt, and yeah, the possibility of scoring big once in a while. So if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just want to see more stories about coins that are secretly worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on notifications. I've got a lot more treasure hunting tips, coin guides, and hilarious stories from my own coin adventures coming your way. Hey folks! Let me ask you a question that might just blow your mind. What if I told you there's a regular-looking 1988 D penny that could be worth more than your car, your mortgage payment, or even your entire retirement account? Yep. One tiny little brown coin, a single 1988 D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, could be worth up to $1.9 million in today's market. Not joking. Not clickbait. This thing is as real as your Uncle Bob falling asleep on the recliner after 2 slices of pecan pie.so before you dump that jar of pennies at the Coinstar machine or give your change to the vending machine down the hall. Watch this entire video. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating, funny, and shockingly valuable story of the 1988 D Lincoln cent that's making waves in the coin world. I'm going to share what makes it worth nearly $2 million, how to tell if you have one, what mistakes to look for, and yeah, we'll sprinkle in some laughs, some memories, and some good old coin collecting wisdom. If you're holding one, take a peek. It's the classic design Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark right under the year and now. To most people this is pocket change. But to the well-trained eye, a few of these 1988 D cents are absolute unicorns because of a very specific, very rare minting error that happened during production. Now here's where things get juicy. Some 1988 D pennies were accidentally struck using the reverse die from 1989. Sounds boring, right? But to collectors, this is like finding a Lamborghini in a garage sale. The reverse design from 1989 had a subtle but crucial difference. The G in FG, that's the designer's initials Frank Gasparo, found near the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial, is different from the one used in 1988 I in the rare, valuable 1988 D error coins. That G has a tail, meaning it was struck with the newer reverse meant for 1989 coins.so it's a 1988 penny with a 1989 backside. Sorta like mullets. Business in the front, party in the back, these are known as transitional design varieties, and buddy, collectors go absolutely wild over them. Add in the fact that most people never even noticed this mistake when it came out, and boom, scarcity plus demand equals a fortune. Let's talk numbers. So far, only a tiny handful of these 1988 D transitional reverse pennies have ever been confirmed. We're talking less than your weekly lunch crowd at the local diner, because so few were made, or rather, so few survived, and because this is the kind of error that can only happen once in a production run. These coins are insanely rare, and when something's rare and desirable in the collecting world, guess what happens? Bidding wars. Crazy private sales. Auction house drama. I mean, I've seen coin nerds get more passionate about a penny than teenagers at a Taylor Swift concert. In a recent private sale, one of these rare 1988 D errors sold for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Let that sink in. 1 penny. Almost $2 million, and just like that, your couch cushions became a treasure hunt. Here's what you do. Grab a 1988 D Lincoln penny, preferably one in decent shape. Flip it over. Look at the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial, right above the rim. If the G has a strong tail on it, kinda like the one on later coins from 1989, you might be holding the $1 million error. And now I know what you're thinking, these things are tiny. How the heck do I see that? Answer: get a good magnifying glass. Or one of those fancy coin microscopes that make you feel like Sherlock Holmes of the numismatic world. And while you're at it, check for sharp details, no damage, and minimal wear. The better the condition, the higher the value. If you've got a coin that's sharp, shiny, and has the wrong FG, you better cancel your weekend plans and call a grading service. A couple years back, I was helping my nephew roll up some change for a school fundraiser. Just some old jars of coins from the garage, nothing special. So we're sitting at the kitchen table, drinking lukewarm coffee and arguing about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. It doesn't, by the way, and I spot this crusty little 1988 D penny in the pile. I go, let me take a closer look at this one. And I flip it over, and now I didn't have my magnifier at the time, so I grabbed this big clunky old jeweler's loupe I had from the flea market. I squint. And I swear, I saw a little tail on that G. My heart started racing like I was on an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Well, turns out mine wasn't the $1 million version, but it was a rare die variety worth a couple $100. Still a win in my book. If I'd just let my nephew dump that into a coin roll and spend it on orange soda, I'd still be kicking myself. Always look twice. And maybe invest in a decent magnifier. If you think you've struck gold, or in this case, copper-plated zinc, your next step is to get that bad boy graded. Send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks are the real deal. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and slab it up nice and neat like a little plastic trophy. If it's the real error variety and in high grade, expect the phone to start ringing. Dealers, collectors, and maybe even museums will be dying to get their hands on it. Don't clean the coin. Seriously. Don't polish it, don't scrub it, don't just try to make it look nice. You'll destroy the value faster than a raccoon at a picnic now, if you're thinking of getting into coin hunting, and you should, because it's way more fun than scrolling social media for the 800th time today. Here's a few tips: always check your pocket change. You never know, get a decent magnifier or coin loop, study coin errors online. Learn what to look for, visit coin shows, join Facebook groups, talk to local collectors. Coin folks are usually pretty friendly and they love to show off. Start a notebook or spreadsheet. Track your finds, values, and oddities. You don't need to be rich to start coin collecting. You just need curiosity and decent lighting. So there you have it. The little 1988 D Lincoln penny that turned into a $1.9 million legend. It's out there right now, sitting in someone's drawer. Maybe in a dusty old piggy bank. Maybe, just maybe, in your change jar. If you take a few minutes to dig through your coins, squint at some initials, and maybe say a little collector's prayer, you might just find it. Don't forget to send me a postcard from your new beach house, alright? Hey, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, drop a comment below with your best coin hunting story, and hit that subscribe button for more juicy tips on coins worth serious money. We've got more hidden treasures to uncover together. Because sometimes, the key to a small fortune is jingling in your pocket. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into pocket chains, you know, the kind that can buy you a vacation, a sports car, or maybe a new set of teeth if you've been chewing coins like bubblegum. Just kidding, kinda. Today, we're talking about a penny. Yeah, you heard me right, a single 1-cent coin from 2018. But not just any old penny. This one has a D mint mark, meaning it was minted in good old Denver. And somehow, don't ask me how yet. That's why you're here. It's now worth $1 million. Let that sink in. That's right. 1 penny. $1 million. Makes you want to start checking under the couch cushions, right? So grab your coffee, settle in, and prepare to raid the dusty coin jar on your kitchen counter after this video. I'm gonna break down how a common-looking penny turned into an uncommon treasure, what to look for, and why this particular coin is making collectors foam at the mouth. And stick around till the end, 'cause I've got a hilarious story about how I once almost spent a rare coin on a gas station burrito. True story. Let's dive in. So, let's start at the beginning. The 2018 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. You've seen him before. Good old Abe Lincoln on the front, always looking like he just remembered he left the stove on. And on the back, the Lincoln Memorial, detailed enough that with a good magnifying glass, you can actually see his little statue inside. Wild, right? The Denver Mint pumped out billions, yes, with a B, of these babies. So naturally, you're wondering, how the heck can one be worth $1 million if there are so many of them? Turns out, this $1 million 2018 D penny isn't just rare, it's got the holy grail of coin collecting, a minting error right now. Before you go tossing every penny in your house into a microscope, listen closely. The valuable version of this coin comes with a very specific combo of features, a double die obverse, where parts of the design look slightly doubled. You can see this on Lincoln's eye, his beard, or the word liberty. It looks like it's got a ghost or a twin. A possible die clash, where part of the reverse design accidentally shows up faintly on the front, and lastly, an insanely high mint state grade. We're talking MS69 or MS70 here, folks, basically perfect. That's like being a penny version of Brad Pitt. Only one known example is all three, and it's sold to a private collector for, drumroll, $1 million at now. Before you go calling your boss to quit your job because you found a 2018 penny in your jeans, let's get real about what it takes. Coin grading is no joke. It's not just shiny equals good. Professional graders look at strike sharpness, luster, color, marks, and eye appeal. They use microscopes more than mad scientists. The penny we're talking about? It had no visible scratches, full luster, and flawless doubling. That's rarer than a clean sock under my teenage nephew's bed. So, if you find a penny that looks a bit off, don't chuck it. Grab a 10x loop, do some digging, and if it's promising, get it graded. You might just be holding onto your retirement fund. So a few years ago, I stopped at this sketchy little gas station in the middle of nowhere. You know the type, fluorescent lights flickering like a horror movie, one sad microwave burrito spinning in the hot case. I go to pay, pull out a handful of change, and the clerk says, you know, that penny looks weird. I shrug, say something like, yeah, probably just dirty, and hand it over. I'm reading an article about valuable coins, and bam, there's my penny. I recognize a nick on the rim and everything. It had a double die error and was worth over 10 grand. Moral of the story? Trust your gut. And maybe gas station burritos aren't worth $10,000 a now. Let's get practical. What can you do to start checking your change like a pro? First, get a magnifier or coin loop. Your eyeballs alone won't cut it unless you're Superman. Second, look for anything off. Letters that seem doubled. Weird bumps or shadows. Coins that feel or sound slightly different. Third, check the mint mark. That little D under the date means Denver. P is Philadelphia. S is San Francisco and is usually for proofs. W is for West Point and is super rare. Or fourth, keep them clean but don't clean them. A shiny old coin is worth less than a naturally aged one. Think of coins like antiques. Nobody wants a freshly painted 100-year-old rocking chair. There are apps and websites that show current prices too. Get familiar with places like PCGS or NGC. Or just hang around here. I've got more tips than a barista on payday.so. There you have it. One simple 2018 D penny, $1 million value, and now you're armed with the know-how to go on your own coin hunting adventure. I mean, imagine pulling a penny from your glove box and realizing it's worth more than your car. Or finding one in a coin roll from the bank and turning a $5 investment into an early retirement. It's about knowing what to look for, being curious, and checking the change before you drop it in the tip jar. And hey, next time you get a weird penny, don't ignore it. Give it the love it deserves. It might just love you back, with a whole lot of zeros. And now, if you had fun with this and want more tips on coins that are secretly worth a fortune, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Drop a like if you've ever accidentally spent a valuable coin, and share this with a friend who thinks pennies are worthless. Hey folks, let me ask you a question right off the bat. What if I told you that the little copper-colored penny jingling around in your pocket, or hiding in your couch cushions, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. 1 cent, worth over $1 million. Sounds like something straight out of a cartoon or a dream, right? Well, buckle up, my friend, because today we're diving deep into the curious case of the 2020 D Lincoln Memorial Penny. This bad boy may look like your average, everyday coin, but trust me, it's anything but ordinary. If you've ever tossed one in the tip jar or dropped one in a wishing fountain, you're gonna wish you'd held onto it. Today, we're talking value, secrets, why this specific coin is such a big deal, and I'm even gonna tell you a story about the time I almost used a rare penny to pay for a hot dog. Spoiler alert, that hot dog would have been the most expensive snack of my life. So grab your coffee, put your feet up, and let's roll into the wonderful, wallet-fattening world of coin collecting. Alright, let's talk about the star of the show, the 2020 D Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin. At first glance, it's just another penny. You've got good old Abraham Lincoln giving you that wise sideways stare. It's copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and has that shiny red-brown finish if it hasn't been beaten up in circulation. Now here's where it gets spicy. This particular coin has a Denver mint mark, that little letter D under the year. Seems innocent enough, right? Some of these 2020 D Lincoln pennies have a striking error. And no, I don't mean it's strikingly handsome. I'm talking about a minting error. A few of these coins were printed with a double die obverse, which means the design elements on the front, like the date and the word Liberty, appear slightly doubled. Not like two-faced Lincoln or anything, but just enough that collectors go wild for it. Now why is that error such a big deal? Because in the coin world, a double die is like finding the golden ticket in a Wonka bar. It's rare. It's weird. And it's worth serious cash. Combine that error with a high-grade rating, something like MS67 or MS68 from a trusted grading company, and boom, you've got yourself $1 million penny. Literally. A pristine 2020 D Lincoln penny with a confirmed double die in a mint state grade? That's the unicorn. One of those beauties was snapped up at auction for $1.1 million. $1.1 million. For a penny. Who pays that kind of money for a cent? Well, collectors are a passionate bunch. Some folks collect stamps, some collect baseball cards, and others collect coins with a laser-focus obsession. It's part investment, part hobby, and part good old-fashioned treasure hunting. And when someone sees a rare coin pop up at an auction, especially one with such a limited error, it becomes a bidding war. Think eBay meets Indiana Jones, but let's back up for a second. I promised you a story, and oh boy, I got a good one. So a couple of years back, I'm at this hole-in-the-wall gas station just off the highway. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I've got exactly $4 in cash. I walk in and grab a hot dog, a bag of chips, and a soda. I hand the guy a 5, and he gives me change, 3 crumpled $1 bills and 2 pennies. One of those pennies looked super shiny, like it just came out of the mint. Something told me to hang on to it, but my hungry self wasn't listening. The next day, I'm at the post office, and I'm a penny short on stamps. Without even thinking, I pull that shiny little coin from my cup holder and slide it across the counter. Days later, I'm watching a video much like this one about rare modern pennies. They're talking about the 2020D with a double die, and I remember that gas station penny. The one I basically donated to the federal government. I broke out in a sweat. I had no proof, but I swear, that penny had the markings. The shine. The magic. Gone forever. Never underestimate a coin. And never make financial decisions while hungry. And now, if you're wondering how you can find one of these magic pennies, let me give you a few quick tips. Check your change. Seriously. Whether you're paying for coffee or digging in your couch for pizza money, keep an eye out for 2020 pennies with the Denver Mint mark. Invest in a good magnifying glass. A jeweler's loupe is even better. You want to inspect the details on Lincoln's face, the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and especially the date. If any of those look doubled or distorted, bingo. You might have something special. If you think you've got a winner, don't go posting it on social media just yet. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it a proper inspection and a grade. That's your golden ticket to the $1 Million Club. Keep your coins organized. Start a penny collection folder. You never know which boring little coin could be your retirement plan. The 2020D Lincoln penny might be small in size, but it's got $1 million potential. All it takes is a little knowledge, a sharp eye, and a bit of luck. You don't have to be a lifelong collector. You don't need to be rich. You just need to pay attention to what's jingling around in your pocket. Maybe you've got one of these rare pennies sitting in your junk drawer right now. Don't laugh, it happens all the time. People throw away fortunes without knowing it. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you get change at the store, don't just shove it into your pocket and forget about it. Take a second and look. You might just find the coin that, if you laughed, learned something, or even cried a little about that hot dog story, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend who could use $1 million surprise. We've got more coin tips, tricks, and treasure hunts coming your way every week. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who hates carrying change, you never know what you'll discover here. Keep your eyes on your change, keep your coffee strong, and remember, the next big fortune might be hiding in your... Hey folks! Have you ever found a penny on the ground and just tossed it into your pocket without a second thought? What if I told you that some pennies aren't just pennies? They could be secret treasure chests hiding in plain sight, like the 1972 No Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny that's worth a whopping $1.2 million today. Yeah, you heard that right, over $1 million for a tiny copper coin most people barely notice. Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating story of this coin, how it came to be, why it's so valuable, and how you might just be holding a goldmine in your pocket without even realizing it. Plus, I'm going to share a funny little personal story about how I almost threw away a rare coin once. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. And hey, if you love uncovering hidden gems and want more tips on coins worth serious money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on the good stuff. Let's jump in. What exactly is the 1972 No Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny? Back in 1972, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, yes, billions, and most of them had a tiny little mint mark that told you where they were made. For example, a D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. But the 1972 No Mint Mark penny? That one was made at the Philadelphia Mint. What's interesting is that most of those Philly pennies should have had no mint mark at all, because Philadelphia didn't use mint marks on pennies back then. So technically, a no mint mark penny from 1972 is super common, right? There's a special subset of these 1972 pennies with no mint mark that have an incredibly rare error or a condition that makes them stand out. Collectors have found that some of these no-mint mark pennies have unique die varieties or striking errors. These errors can include doubled dies or other minting mishaps that make the coin extremely valuable. And when a coin is rare and in top condition, boom, we're talking about that insane $1.2 million value. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, how does a penny worth just a cent turn into something worth $1 million? Great question. It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Coins with minting errors are like the holy grail for collectors. Imagine you go to a factory, and the machine accidentally stamps the coin twice, or flips a part of it upside down, or even leaves off a mint mark when it shouldn't. Those little glitches make each error coin unique, and rarity plus uniqueness equals big bucks. Most pennies are circulated. They've been jostled around in your pocket, gone through the wash a couple of times, maybe dropped on the floor, stepped on, and then passed around in cash registers. That wear and tear lowers their value. But a 1972 no-mint mark penny that is in near-mint or uncirculated condition? That's gold or copper. In this case, speaking of copper, did you know the penny's composition changed over the years? The 1972 penny was mostly copper, 95% copper, 5% zinc. Later pennies shifted to mostly zinc with a copper coating. So copper pennies have that old-school charm, and sometimes that adds to their collectible value. Alright, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my old junk drawer, that place where you shove random stuff like old keys, receipts, expired coupons, and, loose change. As I was dumping coins into a jar, I spotted this old penny. It looked pretty beat up, but something about it caught my eye. Turns out, it was a 1972 no-mint mark penny, or at least it looked like one. I got curious, started researching, and realized some of these pennies could be worth a fortune. At the time, I thought, nah, it's probably just a regular penny. So I tossed it in a box of stuff I was giving away. Fast forward a few months, I read a story about a guy who found a rare penny in a jar of coins and sold it for thousands. Suddenly I panicked and rushed to check my box. Guess what? That penny was gone, given away to charity with a bunch of junk. Lesson learned, always check your coins, folks, even if they look like trash. So, if you ever find a 1972 no-mint mark penny lying around, don't just brush it off. Take a closer look. It could be worth a lot more than a cent. Valuing coins is part art, part science, and a whole lot of collector hype. Coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC assess the coin's condition and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If a 1972 no-mint mark penny is graded as a perfect or near-perfect specimen, it can fetch millions at auction. Plus, some coins have provenance or documented history, which adds to their appeal. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers have sold rare Lincoln pennies for six-figure sums and beyond. Of course, $1.2 million is the very high end. Most of us won't find a perfect specimen in our couch cushions, but even pennies with lesser grades or minor errors can be worth hundreds or thousands, way better than face value. The 1972 no-mint mark penny is often confused with the 1972 double die penny, which is also highly sought after. So if you think you have one, it's worth getting a professional opinion. Look closely at the coin under a magnifying glass or a good phone camera zoom. Check the date, check for mint marks, and look for any doubling or unusual markings on Lincoln's face or the word Liberty. Check the coin's condition. Is it shiny with no scratches or dings? That's a good sign. Step 3. If you suspect it might be valuable, get it graded by a reputable company. Grading can cost a little upfront but massively increases your coin's market value if it's rare. And remember, always store your valuable coins in a cool, dry place. Use coin holders or cases to avoid scratches and corrosion. Treat them like tiny treasures because, well, they are. Alright, friends, now you know why the 1972 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is the underdog of coins, tiny, coppery, and potentially worth over $1 million. The next time you see a penny on the sidewalk, maybe give it a second glance. You never know what hidden gems are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep discovering coins that could change your financial game, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. I'll keep bringing you the coolest tips, stories, and strategies about coins worth money, from pennies to gold coins and everything in between. Got a story about a rare coin you found? Drop it in the comments below. I love hearing your treasure hunting tales. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your pockets heavy, and your coins valuable. See you in the next video. Hey everyone, Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever found yourself digging through your old change jar and wondered if that rusty penny in your pocket could be your ticket to early retirement, today's your lucky day. We're diving deep into a coin that sounds totally ordinary but might just be hiding a $1 million secret. Yep, I'm talking about the 1986 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a tiny piece of copper that could be worth a staggering $1.3 million. Now, before you start digging through the couch cushions or emptying your piggy bank, stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this penny, how to spot it, why it's so valuable, and how it fits into the wild and wonderful world of coin collecting. Also, I'll share a hilarious story about how I almost threw away a fortune and what you can learn from my epic coin fail. So grab a snack, sit back, and get ready for some penny pinching gold. Alright, let's kick things off with some basics. The 1986 penny might not look like much at first glance. It's the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which you've probably seen a million times. But here's the kicker: most 1986 pennies have a little letter stamped on them called a mint mark. That mark tells you where the coin was made, usually a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But the no-mint mark 1986 penny? That's where the magic happens. It means the penny was minted without any mint mark at all. Now, why does that matter? Because those no-mint mark pennies from that year are incredibly rare. And rarity is a big deal in coin collecting. It's like the difference between owning a regular coffee mug and having a limited edition signed by your favorite celebrity. So why did these no-mint mark pennies come about? Well, back in 1986, the US Mint was transitioning from the older 95 copper composition pennies to the newer zinc ones with copper plating. The mint mark usually helps collectors identify the production specifics. But a tiny batch of pennies slipped through without that mint mark. Think of it as the mint's version of a secret handshake. Only a few people knew it existed, and even fewer got their hands on it. Here's where it gets juicy. Because these no mint mark 1986 pennies are so scarce, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. I mean, $1.3 million top dollar. Crazy, right? People have bought these pennies for more than the price of a fancy car or a small house. It's wild to think something so small and common looking could be worth that much, but don't rush to empty your pockets just yet. Authenticity is everything here. Counterfeits exist, and it takes a trained eye to spot the real deal. That's where professional grading services come in. These folks examine the coin's condition, verify its authenticity, and assign a grade. The better the grade, the higher the value. It's like getting a gold star in elementary school, except way more expensive. And now, let me tell you a quick story about my own brush with penny fortune. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. We stumbled upon a dusty old jar labeled "coins from when I was young." Naturally, I started flipping through them, and right at the bottom, there it was, a penny that looked a little different. No mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I thought, holy smokes, I just found $1 million coin. I took it to a coin dealer, and after some careful examination, it turned out to be a regular 1986 penny, no special edition. So no $1 million payday for me. But that moment taught me something valuable. The thrill of the hunt is half the fun, and even if you don't strike gold, these coins connect us to stories in history that are priceless. Back to the 1986 no-mint mark penny, it's also a fascinating piece of American history. Abraham Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909, and the memorial design graced the back from 1959 to 2008. So every penny you hold carries a little slice of Americana, a reminder of our country's story, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's worth way more than its face value. But if you're thinking about hunting for one of these pennies, here's a pro tip. Start with coins from circulation but handle them carefully. Keep an eye out for that missing mint mark on the front, just below the date. And if you think you have a no mint mark 1986 penny, get it graded by a professional. It's an investment in knowing what you really have. The market for these coins is pretty volatile. Prices can fluctuate depending on demand and coin condition. But as of today, that rare no-mint mark 1986 penny sits at about $1.3 million. That's more than some small startups get for seed funding. Also, keep in mind that coin collecting isn't just about making money. It's about preserving history, learning about our past, and maybe, just maybe, having a little fun along the way. And who doesn't want to find a tiny treasure in their pocket? Alright, my fellow coin hunters, that wraps up our deep dive into the 1986 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. It's amazing to think how something so small and seemingly insignificant can hold such incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure story, this penny is a perfect example of how the smallest things can make the biggest difference. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep discovering coins worth a fortune and the quirky stories behind them, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next hidden gems and money-making tips that I'll be sharing right here. And hey, if you've ever found a coin that made you think you hit the jackpot, or maybe just wanted to throw it away, drop a comment below. I love hearing your stories, good, bad, and hilarious. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. What if I told you that a tiny copper penny, the kind you find stuck under your couch or hiding in your car cup holder, could be worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1 million. And today, we're diving deep into one of the coolest, most surprising coins out there, the 1994 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Sounds like a wild story? Stick around because I'm about to break down what makes this little penny so insanely valuable, how you might stumble upon one yourself, and I'll even share a hilarious personal tale of how I almost threw away a potential fortune. Spoiler alert, it involves coffee stains and a very confused cat. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty, grab yourself a snack, maybe a coffee or tea, and settle in. This is gonna be a fun ride. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more quirky tips and tricks on coins worth serious money. Let's get started. Alright, let's break it down for the newbies first. The 1994 Memorial Lincoln penny is part of a long-running series featuring the familiar profile of Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Pretty standard stuff, right? But here's where it gets juicy. Most 1994 pennies have a mint mark, a tiny letter that tells you where the coin was made. Common marks include P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But the rarest and most valuable ones from that year have, wait for it, no mint mark at all. And now you might be thinking, no mint mark? That sounds like a mistake. And you're right. These no mint mark pennies from 1994 are essentially mint errors, which means they weren't supposed to be made that way. These little rebels escaped the mint unnoticed and now command huge value because of their rarity. Two big factors: scarcity and collector demand. Scarcity means there are very few of these no mint mark pennies out there. When something is rare, especially in the coin world, collectors start salivating. Combine that with the fact that Lincoln pennies are super popular and widely collected, and boom, you have a recipe for a coin worth a fortune. Collectors love story coins, too. The no-mint mark penny tells a story of a rare printing error, a little secret from the mint, which makes it way more interesting than your average pocket change. Now, before you start frantically digging through your change jar, let me drop some reality. These pennies aren't easy to find, and many require expert verification to confirm they are genuine no-mint mark errors. Fake coins exist, so buyer beware. How to identify a 1994 no-mint mark penny? Here's the quick rundown on spotting one of these babies. Look closely on the front of the penny, just below the year 1994. Most coins will have a little P, D, or S stamp there. If it's completely blank, you found a no-mint mark coin. Check the coin's condition. Condition matters. The cleaner and less worn the penny is, the higher the value. Get it verified by a professional. Trust me, this step is crucial. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm authenticity and grade your coin. Alright, time for the fun part. So, a few years back, I was casually emptying my wallet onto my kitchen table to clean it out, as one does. Among the usual suspects, a couple of lint balls, a mysterious receipt from 2009, and some random coins. I spotted a penny that looked a bit different. Now, I'm not a coin expert by any means, but something about this penny caught my eye. No mint mark. I thought, maybe this is worth something? So I stuffed it into my special coins box and forgot about it. Fast forward 6 months. I was reorganizing my collection, sipping on coffee, when my curious cat decided to join the fun and knocked my box right off the shelf. Coins spilled everywhere, and of course, my coffee came flying too, splashing all over the floor. In the chaos, I accidentally stepped on the penny and thought I had ruined it. Heart pounding, I rushed to dry it off and, miraculously, it was still intact. That moment of sheer panic was a huge wake-up call for me. Never underestimate the power of these tiny coins. Long story short, after getting it verified, I found out it was indeed a 1994 no-mint mark penny. While mine wasn't in mint condition and not worth the full 1.4 million, it still netted me a respectable payout and a heck of a story. Why you should care and what to do next now. If you're sitting there thinking, I'll just throw out all my pennies, they're worthless, hold up. This coin proves otherwise. There are hidden gems in the most unexpected places. Always check those pennies closely. If you find a 1994 penny without a mint mark, don't just put it in your pocket or tip jar. Get it professionally checked. You might be sitting on a gold mine or at least a decent payout, and it's not just the 1994 no mint mark pennies. The world of coin collecting is packed with surprises, old errors, rare prints, and unique stories behind each coin that can seriously boost their value. The fascinating story of the 1994 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a coin worth $1.4 million to the lucky few who find one in pristine condition. From mint mistakes to market demand, this penny is proof that sometimes, even the smallest things can hold huge value. Before you dash off to raid your change jars, remember the importance of expert verification and careful handling. And hey, if you enjoyed this little adventure into the world of valuable pennies, why not stick around, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get more awesome tips, stories, and strategies on coins that could change your life. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the shiny world of numismatics, I've got you covered with fun, easy to understand, and sometimes hilarious coin content. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes peeled, your coins shiny, and your coffee cups far from your collection. Catch you in the next video. Hey! What's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? You ever find yourself staring at a shiny penny and think, wait a minute, could this little guy be worth a fortune? Well, today, I'm gonna blow your mind with a story about a seemingly ordinary penny that could actually make you $1.5 million richer. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking about the 2021 D-Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. I know, pennies usually get tossed aside like old gum wrappers or forgotten socks under the couch, but this one? This one's special. So, if you're into coins, history, or just the dream of accidentally stumbling on some serious cash, buckle up, because this episode is packed with good stuff, some history, some market secrets, and a little story about how I almost threw away a fortune. Spoiler, I didn't. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button if you want to keep leveling up your coin knowledge and maybe make some money while you're at it. Trust me, your future wallet will thank you. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why exactly is this penny worth a cool $1.5 million? I mean, pennies usually sit in piggy banks or the bottom of your car's cup holder, right? Well, the 2021 D penny is like the unicorn of pennies for several reasons. First, it's a Memorial Lincoln penny, meaning it carries the classic design that honors good old Honest Abe with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's the kicker, the 2021 D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver, and that mint mark, combined with a very specific production error, makes this penny insanely rare. Let me explain. Normally, pennies have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. The 2021 D penny has a tiny error that slipped through the cracks during manufacturing. This could be a doubled die, an off-center strike, or even a missing element on the design. Coin collectors absolutely lose their minds over this stuff because it's like finding a typo in the constitution of pennies. The value comes from its rarity and the story behind its discovery. Only a handful of these error pennies exist, and collectors have been scrambling to find them ever since word got out. It's kind of like the coin world's version of that rare Pokemon card you always wanted but never found. The condition of the penny also matters. Mint state coins, meaning they look practically brand new, are worth way more. This particular penny's error and perfect condition create the perfect storm for skyrocketing value. The market for collectible coins is booming right now. People are investing in coins like they do with stocks or crypto, hoping their collection will pay off big time. So if you stumble upon one of these 2021 D error pennies, you might just have a golden ticket in your pocket. Or, well, a copper ticket. Alright, let me get a little personal here. A couple of years ago, I was doing some spring cleaning and found a jar full of old pennies my grandma had saved. I was about to dump them in the recycling bin because, honestly, who uses pennies anymore? But I decided to take a quick peek just for fun. I spotted a penny that looked a little off. It had a weird doubling on the mint mark. I thought, that's odd, and did some research. Turns out, it was a rare error penny worth a ton of money, thousands back then, but if it were a 2021 D error penny? It would be worth way more. I ended up selling that penny and put the money into a new coin collection. That experience taught me never to overlook the little things. Sometimes your treasure is hiding in plain sight, right under your nose. So next time you're about to toss a penny, think twice. Here's a quick tip for you penny detectives. To spot a 2021 D mint mark error penny, you want to look closely at the mint mark. Is it doubled, blurry, or off-center? Grab a magnifying glass or even your phone camera zoom, check the Lincoln Memorial side for any missing or extra lines, look for any weird textures or discolorations on the coin, use online resources or coin forums to compare your penny with verified images. If you think you found a rare one, don't just throw it in your piggy bank. Get it appraised by a professional coin grader or a reputable coin dealer. It could be worth way more than just 1 cent. The coin market can be a roller coaster. Prices can jump overnight when a rare find hits the news. That $1.5 million value is based on recent sales and auctions, but like any collectible, it can fluctuate. So if you're planning to buy or sell one of these pennies, do your homework. Timing matters, and so does knowing your buyer. Also, it's not just about the money. Collecting these coins is fun, and it connects you with history and the craftsmanship of the mint. Plus, it's a cool hobby to brag about at parties, right? Alright, my coin collecting amigos, here's the bottom line. The 2021 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny might look like your everyday penny, but with its rare error, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. That if you're someone who's always on the lookout for hidden gems, or you just want to impress your friends with cool coin facts, stick around because I've got plenty more tips, stories, and insider tricks coming your way. If you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and join this awesome community of coin lovers. I promise to keep bringing you the best content on coins that are worth more than their face value, and maybe help you find your own fortune too. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that surprised you or if you have any questions about this crazy penny. Until next time, keep hunting those coins and keep dreaming big, because you never know which penny might make you a millionaire. Hey there, coin fans and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the coolest coins that might just be hiding in your pocket right now. If you've ever found a penny on the ground and thought, could this be worth more than a cent? Well, today, you're in for a treat. Today we're unlocking the mystery behind the 1991 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Sounds like just another penny, right? But nope, this little guy has a jaw-dropping current market value of $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard me right, million with an M, so buckle up, grab your magnifying glasses, and maybe check your couch cushions because we're going on a coin adventure filled with fun facts, a personal story, and some tips on spotting coins that could make you the next accidental millionaire. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more coin tips, treasure stories, and money-making strategies that could fatten your wallet. No joke. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about what makes the 1991 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny so special. You might be thinking, what's so special about a penny from 1991? We all know pennies are pretty common and usually worth, well, a penny. But this one's got a secret sauce. The key is in the D Mint mark. That means it was minted in Denver, one of the US Mint's major production spots. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The 1991 D penny with the memorial reverse design has a rare error that collectors drool over, a minting mistake that only a handful of coins have. This mistake, known as a double die error, means the coin's design looks like it's been stamped twice, creating a cool shadow or blurry effect on the letters and numbers. And guess what? That error is what drives the price from just a penny all the way up to a whopping $1.6 million on the collector's market. Because coin collectors love rarity. It's like baseball cards but shinier and heavier. The fewer mistakes like this exist, the more people want to snatch them up and pay big bucks. And with only a few hundred of these error coins estimated to be out there, scarcity drives the price sky high. Now, I'm sure you're wondering if you might already have one lying around in your wallet, right? Let me tell you, I once thought I was just a lucky penny finder, but then I got a surprise. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my old junk drawer, the one filled with random stuff like old batteries, expired coupons, and about 50 pennies. I decided to sort through the pennies to see if any were special. Among them, I found a 1991 penny with a weird doubled look on the design. I had no idea what it was at first, so I googled it and found out it was a double die error penny, but not just any penny, a rare 1991 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny. I thought, this could be something. So I took it to a local coin shop, and after some appraising and expert nods, they told me this little guy could be worth thousands. Not the 1.6 million, but still, way more than I expected. That experience taught me the value of knowing your coins and not just brushing off those old pennies as trash. If you find a penny from 1991 with the D Mint mark and that double die effect, don't just toss it in the tip jar. Get it appraised, and you could be sitting on a small fortune. Alright, let's break down how to spot this valuable 1991 D penny. Look for the D Mint mark under the date. That's the Denver Mint's mark. Examine the Lincoln Memorial on the back. The doubled die error causes doubled or shadowed lettering, especially around the words United States of America and 1 cent. The doubling makes the letters look like they have a ghost or shadow. Use a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom to see the doubled effect clearly. Lastly, make sure the coin is genuine and not cleaned or altered, because that affects value big time. You might be wondering how these errors even happen. Minting coins is a complex process. Basically, steel or copper-plated blanks get stamped by dies that have the coin design. Sometimes, the dies shift slightly or get damaged, causing those double images. Think of it like when you try to print a document and accidentally feed the paper twice, and the text comes out blurry or doubled. The Mint tries to catch these errors, but some slip through, and boom, rarity and value are born. So what about that $1.6 million market value? That's based on recent auction sales of rare specimens and expert appraisals for coins in pristine, mint condition. Remember, condition is king in coin collecting. A coin that's scratched, worn, or cleaned can lose a ton of value. The top-tier examples of the 1991 D doubled die Lincoln penny are rare, and collectors are willing to pay big money to get their hands on one. Prices can fluctuate with the market, so if you think you have one, get it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC before selling or insuring it. Look through old coin rolls from banks. Sometimes people overlook valuable coins. Keep your coins safe and store them in a dry place to preserve their condition. Join local coin clubs or online forums to swap knowledge and maybe coins. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1991 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1 cent penny coin, a tiny coin with a massive price tag of $1.6 million. Who knew that something so small could be so powerful? If you've got pennies lying around, give them a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips, stories, and strategies on finding coins that can fatten your wallet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I promise to keep bringing you friendly, fun, and informative coin content that's worth way more than just spare change. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a coin you thought was just a penny but turned out to be a gem. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for hanging out today. Until next time, keep those eyes peeled and your pockets heavy. Hey folks, listen up. You might want to stop what you're doing for a second and grab your coin jar, because there's a sneaky little penny out there that could turn your regular Tuesday into a millionaire moment. That's right, I'm talking about a 1 cent coin that's worth 1.7 million bucks. You heard me. 1.7 million. For a penny. And now before you roll your eyes and say, yeah, sure, just like that time I thought I saw Elvis at the gas station, stick around. This ain't no urban legend, my friend. We're diving deep into the wild world of the 2005 No Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny that shockingly made its way into the Millionaires Club. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the real deal, and maybe, just maybe, change your life with some pocket change. And if you're new here, welcome to the club where your change actually makes sense. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any coin that could buy you a new car, a house, or heck, a lifetime supply of beef jerky if that's your thing. Alright, let's dig into this little copper treasure. Let's start with the basics. The 2005 Lincoln Memorial penny. You've probably seen thousands of them. But there's one special version that doesn't have a mint mark, and that's where the magic starts. Normally, in 2005, pennies were struck at either the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. Now here's the kicker: Philadelphia coins often don't have a mint mark at all, which is common. So what makes this no mint mark 2005 penny so dang special? Well, the difference is all in the details. We're talking about a rare error coin that managed to slip past the tight security of the US Mint like a raccoon sneaking into a picnic. One small variation, one overlooked detail, and boom, you've got a coin worth $1.7 million sitting in someone's sock drawer. And now I know what you're thinking. What, is it made out of unicorn blood or something? No, not quite. It's all about a combination of things: die errors, striking anomalies, and a perfectly preserved condition. The coin we're talking about had a major off-center strike. Like, we're talking way off. The profile of Honest Abe is literally drifting off like he's about to exit stage left, but that's not all. This particular penny was also double struck and still somehow escaped quality control. The error is so distinct and rare that collectors went bananas over it. When it finally went up for auction, it fetched a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's a lot of cheddar for a coin that could easily be hiding between your couch cushions. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandpa's old toolbox. Now, my grandpa kept everything: buttons, rusty screws, the world's oldest rubber bands, and of course a mountain of old coins. While I was sifting through that rusty treasure chest, I stumbled upon a 2005 penny. No mint mark. Off-center. My heart stopped. I grabbed a magnifying glass, sweating like I just ran a marathon. I thought, this is it. This is how I pay off my mortgage, buy a boat, and name it Lucky Lincoln. Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't the penny. But it did open up this whole new world of coin collecting for me. And the best part? I didn't even know how fun and profitable it could be until that day. That penny? Still worth a few bucks for its minor error, but the real jackpot taught me something even better. Keep looking. Now you're probably wondering how you can find this legendary coin. Here's what you need to do. Off-center strike, the more off, the better. Double strike or misalignment, strong details despite the error. If you've got one that ticks all these boxes, then congrats, you might just be holding something insanely valuable. But don't go cashing it in at the gas station just yet. Get that baby authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A good grade can mean the difference between a couple $100 and seven figures. Why is this penny worth $1.7 million? Simple answer: scarcity meets demand. Serious collectors and numismatic enthusiasts will shell out the big bucks for something one of a kind. Especially when it's an error that shouldn't exist. It's like owning a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book with the wrong cover. As of right now, this specific 2005 penny has sold at auction for $1.7 million. That's not a typo. The market for rare coins is booming, and with the rise of online auctions, social media coin communities, and good old YouTube videos like this one, more and more collectors are entering the arena. That drives prices up even further. So yeah, the penny you ignore at the bottom of your laundry basket might just be your retirement plan. That you've just learned that a 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a staggering $1.7 million. You now know what to look for, how to check for errors, and why the market is going absolutely nuts for this little copper superstar. Coins are like people. Sometimes the ones that look a little off, a little different, or even a little messed up, turn out to be the most valuable of them all. So never underestimate your spare change. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions or interrogating your piggy bank, do me one quick favor: smash the like button if you learned something new today. Hit subscribe if you want more coin hunting tips, stories, and laughs. And ring that bell so you never miss out on the next coin that could buy you a yacht, or at least a very nice recliner. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or rare coin. I love hearing your stories, and who knows, maybe the next millionaire story I tell will be yours.